Okay, let me go back to the SDP senatorial candidate. What exactly do you think is happening in your party, and isn't this likely in a big way to affect your chances at the polls generally?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. We are just waiting for the court to take a decision on that. Like he said, the SDP is a very law-abiding party. That is why we are waiting for the court to really take a decision on that. The party is going on with the campaigning for the party. So whosoever that emerges as the presidential candidate at the end of the day will still take benefit of the campaigns that the party is already doing. So I don't see how it will so much adversely affect the performance of the party at the polls.
Let's just say that there are a number of people who are your fans or whatever that are following developments right now. I don't see how they can be convinced that the SDP house is together enough. What exactly is responsible for the confusion?
Yeah, it's the primaries that were conducted, in particular the presidential primaries. There's a confusion, disagreement between the two candidates, and the best thing for the aggrieved party to do is to go to the court. And he went to the court, and the initial person that was submitted as the candidate, Donald Duke, was removed based on court orders. And Donald Duke went back to the Court of Appeal, So it's nobody's making. The best thing to do is to wait for the judgment of the higher court to come out before anybody can do anything. So it's a waiting game. Everybody's waiting. But I can tell you that the party is together. It's just that the party does not want to identify with a particular person because both of them are good members and strong members of the party. So the party does not want to take side with anybody. The party is just waiting for the directive from the court to do the needful.
So, Mr. Okoye, let me ask you, if the court, I know that INEC has got to, you have timeline where you need to do some things so that you move on to the others in order for everything to be done decently and in order and not impede on the administrative or operations of the commission for the elections. If the court, for instance, we do know that Zamfara and Rivers APC also have some challenges concerning this list. What happens if the court rules very close to the elections and you have to include their names? What kind of scenario is going to play out? What's the implication for INEC?
Well, the only one that we pose a challenge relates to the issue in Rivers. The others, we are going to see have the logo of the political parties on the ballot. But in relation to the matter from Rivers, the court made an order that both the names of the candidates for governorship, senatorial, House of Representatives, and House of Assembly elections should be removed and that their names should not appear anywhere on the ballot or on any document emanating from the Independent National Electoral Commission. The court also ruled that the logo of the political party should not appear on the ballot. So that is challenging. But I believe that Nigeria is a country governed by the rule of law, and all of us are supposed to be bound by the rule of law. If the court gives an order too close to the elections, and it is impossible then to conduct the elections, especially for that stream of elections, then we will have no choice than to undermine the elections and then move it a little bit. But based on the Electoral Act and based on the constitutional provisions, we still have a small window within which to act. And that presupposes that the issue we are going to have will just be state-specific. So we are going to conduct such an election as an off-season, a slightly off-season election away from the general elections. So I think that the Rivers issue is not insurmountable. It's an issue that we can deal with We will be looking at what the Court of Appeal does. We will look at what the Supreme Court does. So we follow all these processes very, very closely to make sure that the Independent National Electoral Commission is not caught off guard. But if the court rules very close to the elections, we are already putting together a plan B and looking at all the variables and all the eventualities, and we can take care of it. So I think we have everything under control, and we're also looking at various scenarios in terms of what happens in the court.
What would be the implication of that on the electorate? Because ultimately, if the court cuts it too close and you're not able to educate the people within reasonable time, it might be difficult to get the electorate on stream, in good enough time. What's the implication for the electorate?
Well, these issues and these challenges are part of our electoral process. If the political parties paid attention to Section 87 of the Electoral Act, and we don't have challenges with the party primary elections, some of these issues will not arise. But you see, party primary elections are conducted by individuals. Anything can go wrong. And the law and the Constitution is that if anything goes wrong with party primary elections, that rather than take the laws into your own hands, you go and ventilate your grievances before the court. And I believe that that is what the political parties have done. They have gone to court, they have ventilated their grievances. The court has looked at all the dynamics and looked at all the issues, and they also looked at all the variables and made an order which as of today is subsisting. So, and I'm sure that the people of Rivers, the political parties involved, are also following the developments and also educating their supporters relating to the development. But whether it's going to affect the voters as it were, definitely it will affect them. It may demoralize them, it may dampen their spirit. But if a political party is excluded from contesting the elections, other political parties are still on the ballot. We have 91 political parties in Nigeria as of today. Now, if eventually the court says you cannot exclude, you must restore, and it is impossible too close to the elections to restore, then the Independent National Electoral Commission has the constitutional and legal authority to undermine the elections and move it forward a little bit. And then we do civic and voter education, and we will also urge the political parties to also mobilize so that the people who are registered can exercise their democratic franchise, because that is their power. Their sovereignty rests in relation to their being able to exercise their democratic franchise. So we will educate them, we will plead with them to exercise patience, and that the democratic process runs that way, and that all of us must submit to the rule of law and due process.